Chris here with IMOU Cell 2. This is a new wireless security camera. It's got a 4 megapixel sensor, shoots Quad HD resolution, has your typical passive infrared motion detection, human detection for the events, a fully featured application with lots of different settings in it, which I'll show you, and an IP65 water resistant rating. So that means it can be out in the rain, you can mount it anywhere, not a problem, and you can also use this indoors. It's not just outdoors. But the best part about it is this right here, that if you pull the bottom off, you can remove the battery. So 100% removable battery. It's a 6,000 milliamp hour cell here, and you can charge it up via a micro USB cable. And once it's charged, simply insert it, which is something I haven't been able to do with other cameras. Included in the box, you'll find a quick start guide, which is in various different languages. We have the mount for the camera, then the mounting bracket, which we screw into a wall. You get the guide for it, which is a sticker, so you can line up those screws perfectly when you need to drill the holes for everything. Of course, the screws, they are included too. We get a regulatory and legal information leaflet, and this just to remind us that it does support both 2.5 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz bands. We've got our battery, which is 6,000 milliamp hours, a micro USB cable, and then the camera itself, of course. Now, this Cell 2 is smaller than I thought it would be. You can see up here we've got our camera. Now, that's QHD resolution, so 1440p, nice and sharp, sharper than, of course, the 1080p ones. We have a LED up here, which is nice and bright. I'll test that out later on, so what you can expect out of it. It does have a passive infrared sensor, and it does use AI too for human detection to trigger it on or off. Status LED microphone. There's a speaker built into this. You can have two-way communication to speak to people on the other end. This also does have a siren mode, which is very loud. It's 110 decibels. So either side there is nothing there. Down the bottom there's just a sticker. At the top, nothing either there. On the back is where it is mounted. And here just under a gasket, you'll find the micro USB port. So why it has this cover over it, because it does have an IP65 rating. That means it can be rained on, weatherproof. It's not going to be a problem. So down the bottom here, if you twist it and then pull, it comes off. You can see there's another seal around this, so no water's going to get in. You'll find then the micro SD card slot. So it's either local storage or cloud storage, and it does come with a 32 gigabyte card there. So if you're worried about having it local storage, then of course you set up a cloud account with them for that. There is this reset button, and that is where the battery goes right down in there. We slot that in. I'll show you that now. The battery being removable is probably the best part about the Cell 2. I really like this because other manufacturers aren't doing this. You have to take them down or you have to connect up a cable to charge them. It's a real pain. So you can charge it outside the Cell 2 because there is this here, micro USB port there to charge it. So 6,000 milliamp hours, it can last for around 6 months. Now looking at my installation outside, so all you really do need is just to be in range of your wireless. So normally 2.4G is going to have the best signal and the range will be able to make it further than 5 gigahertz. So I've got camera coverage until about this point here from the camera that's at the front. So down the side here, I'm thinking of putting the Cell 2 just up on the wall here. And that way, from about this point onwards, just along here, it's going to get coverage all down the side of the house where we don't have any cameras at the moment. And I'll probably just be mounting it here, which is up a little bit higher to give me a slightly better field of view there of everything. And I've got my assistant here, as always, Vera. Vera, how are you going to be helping me? She doesn't seem too interested at all in what I'm doing. So the support bracket for it, where I'm going to drill, is going to be here, okay? So I'm going to mount it in the middle. Now I will need a masonry drill bit, of course, for this, but I'm going to use that guide sticker that they give us to make this job a little bit easier. And now to, of course, drill the hole so I can mount this. Well, that was easy because this is a very soft brick here. Now you need to put the bracket in with the up arrow there. So it's going to slot in and then you push it down so it clips into place. So I've got to screw this now, the bracket, on the wall. And there we go, it is installed. That was very easy and it probably took me about 5 minutes. So now with the app and the live preview, you can adjust the angle to make sure you get the best coverage with the camera. What do you think, Vera? Did I do a good job with the installation there? Oh, she doesn't care. She looks cold. Oh, actually, she's looking at it. Oh no, bored, yawning already. And onto our sample footage now. So it's recording in Quad HD, which is 1440p, a little bit sharper than 1080p. And I've got a wide field of view from the corner of the pool right here down the side of the house, which is good coverage. Now, the audio you're listening to is being recorded on the Cell 2, of course, and it does have that inbuilt microphone, so you're able to have two-way communications. The other handy feature with it is, of course, it does have the human detection, so it'll see and detect human faces, the movement from it, from the passive infrared, record that clip, and then it will send through a notification to your phone. And this is what you can expect quality-wise at nighttime. I'm using the color night vision mode here. You can turn on infrared, or you can set the LED light to be off. And the smart mode too, it will come on automatically, but normally after about, I think it's 10 seconds, it will turn off. So for night vision quality, I don't think it's too bad here. Out of a Quad HD camera, you can't really expect too much, and at least it's capturing a little bit more with the resolution and more details than, say, other 1080p models. The Cell 2 does have a Siren built into it. Now, they claim it's 110 decibels, the loudness of it, and it doesn't seem to be quite 110 to my ears. It still is loud and it's annoying, and if you're not expecting it, it'll give you a bit of a fright. But here's a sample of it. And our application that you do need with this to get it all set up, record the clips and save them. So it's called IMOU Live. You get it on either iOS or Android, which I'm running right now. So once you log in, you set up the camera, you need to pair it up to your wireless network. You can then access all the settings with it and the live preview. So this is the live preview right here. Well, just a quick snapshot of it. When I tap to go into this, it will take approximately 15-20 seconds depending on your network. My coverage here isn't the greatest, and it will load in then the live preview. So you can see right now, and I can even listen to what's going on out there. I can hear lots of birds tweeting away, and this preview is in HD. Now, if you set it to standard definition, it'll load in a little bit faster there, depending on your network again. So you can turn on manually, Siren, Spotlight, talk to people with the two-way communication with the mic and the loudspeaker that's built into it, and record clips, take a snapshot. Now I can make this full screen as well. If I just click on that, I can make it the whole size, 16:9 ratio. But let's take a look at the settings. Now I won't go over everything here because a lot of it's pretty straightforward. So you can see here that we've got options to share the device, the features of it, the recordings. This is where you go in, you can see the recordings, and I'll get onto that shortly. So notifications, enabling those, detection modes. So we have human detection, and you've got your standard passive infrared. So that'll come up shortly. It's just connecting up to it and pulling that through. And then you've got the sensitivity levels. So if you have any issues with that, you can tone down the sensitivity or increase it if it's not being triggered and test that out. So it's good that we've got those options. Now along here, we've got cloud storage, so you can use that option, but you do have to pay a little bit extra. Now, if you want the free option, which is the local storage, which encrypts the files on that micro SD card, then that's what I'm actually using at the moment. So that's free, which is good. A battery life, performance mode. So this is really just the duration of the clip and the interval that it's detecting things, okay, movements, and how long to record it. So I've got in the performance mode here for this video so you can see the best possible quality. Privacy mode, night vision settings, so you can set it to a color night vision, just the infrared, or just the bright modes, whatever. So you can change all of that in here. But it's pretty self-explanatory there too as well with the application. And we've got other settings with wireless and whatnot. So those ones are self-explanatory. There's lots of options, typical options you do get. But let's have a look now at some of the recordings or how to get our recordings. And my network here is not the fastest. So once that loads in, you can see there all of the clips that it has recorded. And it tells you the duration of them here. And I can just go in and take a look at them. For example, look at this clip here. It will then again stream it to me so I can see that preview. That's just me outside there testing it. And if you want to, you can then download that and store it locally. So it just downloads it onto your mobile phone where you can access it, share it, email it. So all up, this is a great little compact wireless security camera. Lots of things I like about it. The fact that it's IP65, which all of them normally are, means you can put it anywhere. The only restriction is, of course, your wireless signal strength. So I do recommend using 2.4 gigahertz, even though the transfer speeds are a little slower, you get much better range out of it. You've got two-way communication on here. The best part, of course, is the fact that you can just remove that battery. You can just pull it right out and charge it. Or you could already have a new one, freshly charged, ready to go, and just swap them over straight away. It means you don't have to reach out there and uninstall the whole camera like you do with other brands. You just simply swap out the battery. That's the best thing about it, is the design. And the build quality is good of it. The sample footage that I showed you is your typical security camera footage, that it is highly compressed, okay, to save on the file size. And it can be, of course, saved locally, which is encrypted or uploaded to their cloud server with it. The motion detection seems to be working well, and I haven't had any problems with disconnections or anything like that with my router, which is quite a reasonably powerful Asus one. No issues with it at all. Now, you don't have to put it just outside these cameras. You can put it anywhere. And the installation, as I showed you, very simple if you're going to use the mount they give you. Otherwise, this camera can simply just be placed on the top of a cupboard. You can put it wherever you need, or even just have it, for example, up here on my shelf. And you can see that the LED's gone off. That's because I've just triggered it with all the moving around and the motion. That's normal there. So that is IMOU's Cell 2. Thank you so much for watching this video.